What's up YouTube? Spook Show Lucky here, and today I thought I'd do something a little bit different. Right now we are standing in front of my haunted house, Evil Visions Haunted House in Monroe, Louisiana, and I thought I'd take you guys for a little tour. I know I did this with Christian Hannah Horror. He had a video linked up on his page, but I wanted to get a little more up close and personal with some of my props. So let's go inside and check it out. Alright guys, so this is the entrance to the haunt, and you will notice the place is under construction. We're kind of getting started, getting ready for our next season. So what I have here is a 13,000 square foot building. That is a ton of space. You can see I'm on one end of the building, and all the way down that hallway goes to the next end, and then it goes all the way back. So we have a 13,000 square foot haunt. In here I have about 38 rooms assembled. I just recently purchased this haunted house, which has been in operation for about 7-8 years now, and I recently took it over. So when you come past the queue line there, I can take you back scenes, show you kind of where we get things done. Now keep in mind, like I said, there's a lot of construction going on. So this here is generally where we keep all of our tools, our building supplies, and then also our artists do our makeup, which is a mess and I have to get changed out and cleaned up. I have some props here, some masks, different things. I actually custom made this Silent Hill. It's pretty cool. It went in one of our rooms, which I'll probably take you by and show you in a little while. Of course, we had Michael Myers. We did most of the Hollywood horror actors in here. And we've got good old Freddy Krueger. And a couple other things. Skin face. I'll probably end up taking this one home. I need to get it cleaned up. But those are some of the props and some of the masks. I've got a good buddy of mine named Jeff Fields. He actually owns Skin Effects, and he makes these masks for me. So these are fantastic actor masks. I use those a lot with the haunted house. In here, more or less a latex and small item prop storage area for me. So this is where I keep a good majority of my bones and latex materials. Anything that's a little more sensitive and doesn't need to get messed up. Mirrors. There's a hanging woman, a little clown guy, some of the netting and things that we use above the haunted house. So, and then this is a big tub full of masks. So let's go over here, and I can show you our costume room. So this is our costume area, and I have tons of props in here. Shoulder pads to make people look bigger. This is a pretty cool mask here. I believe this is from Legend. It's actually probably, this is not an actor mask. This is actually probably a pretty decent mask. But anyway, more masks, wigs, helmets, lighting, a lot of weapons, props, and then of course all of our clothing. So we have tons of stuff here, and it needs to be a little more organized. These weapons are really nice. Spirit Halloween this year actually came out with weapons, and I think they look great. These are all foam weapons, but the good thing about it, we have to be careful with customers, because if I hired 60 actors last year, and I can't account for every one of those people that are hired in my haunt. So I need to know that if they accidentally hit a customer, it's nothing that can hurt them. And these weapons, for what they are, look fantastic. And I think these were about $12, something like that. So it turned out to be pretty cool. A good little deal for us. So my office space is through here, and I have some more props in here. You see Twisty, and that's the Twisty costume. My camera room where we watch everything. Nothing's neat or pretty in here. It just works. I've got more masks that need to be hung back up. And, the good thing about these masks, I think he sells them to me for about 80 bucks a pop. They hold up through the season. They're cheap enough to where I can put actors in them and not have to worry about it. but they also seem to last. You know, I can get a couple seasons out of these. Now, this was my Shattered Effects silicone mask that I bought. And these things are heavy. This thing is brutal. It's called the Carver. You know, it has a lot of movement when you wear this mask. I found it was very hot and uncomfortable. It was pretty hard to work in, but beautiful mask. Love the work behind it. And, you know, hopefully I'll be able to use it again. So let me take you inside the haunt. I'm going to stop the video here and then pick back up in a second. All right, guys, so I'm going to try not to take you through all 36 rooms, and I don't want to give up too much of the haunt, which actually all of this is about to change anyway, so this is not important. But I'll try to rush through as quick as I can. So this was our welcome lobby. Of course, we don't have this many lights on. It's a lot of spooky light conditions, so everything gets dimmed down. It looks a little better. So for the last couple years, this haunt hasn't changed up very much. I bought it this last year, like I said, so we did as much as we could. I took the place over in June, so of course I only had 2 months to really work on it to get it ready for this last season in 2017. So this year we're actually up here early. We're getting some things done and making a lot of changes to the haunted house. So this was our lobby area, and then I tried to incorporate things that I thought were scary. So, you know, you walk into a movie, or you're watching a movie, and the person walks into the room. There's things covered in sheets. You don't know which one's real, which one's not. So sometimes I'd put a real actor on this table, or I'd have an actor in the sheets behind. Of course, when customers walk past them to get through the next room, bam, they'd walk up and hit them. Great scare there. We use a lot of animatronics. We have some pretty good looking props in here. A lot of these look realistic, especially with lower lighting. This right here is an air cannon, and it's on a trigger with a beam sensor. So as soon as people hit past, this thing blows off a ton of air, scares the crap out of you. It's a lot of fun. And we have some pretty realistic looking props. Again, especially when the lights are off, these things look fantastic. And there's another one here in the corner, random hooks, chained up people, good stuff. So this is the room we just started working on. Again, this was an x-ray room. The whole front half that you saw just a while ago will actually turn into the manor this year. So we are tearing down walls, getting spaces ready. My man Jared here helping me out. Heather's here to check it out. How you doing? We walk into the next room, and this is Fred. This is probably one of my favorite props in the whole haunted house. He looks the most realistic. I forgot where he was purchased from, but he's about a $1,000 prop by itself. These guys, when they get this detailed and this realistic and look this real, they cost a lot of money. So, you know, that's just one of the things we have to deal with. And here's our morgue hallway, which this year we have a good plan for. It won't be the morgue anymore. And then we walked into our church room, and you can see this written on the walls. This will be the future. This is going to be an asylum exam room. It will no longer be our church. Here is where I had the coffin ride, world famous coffin ride. It was actually a coffin simulator. You get in it, and it gives you the experiences of being buried alive. This will no longer be a cemetery. This is going to be our freezer room. So this video will kind of serve as a double purpose. It'll let you guys check out my haunted house, and it'll also let me look back and, you know, see where we've come and how much of this we actually got done. So this will now turn into the morgue. Some of these walls with the X's will be knocked out, and they'll change a little bit. But in here we had the night room, and then I had the ring well for Samara. And this is actually, and you see the ring, painted that on. Added some trees, try to make it as realistic as possible. Again, low lighting with, you know, a hazer gun. This thing looks fantastic. This will now be the crematorium. So that will go into this room as well. And this will all be one big crematorium. You can see we have our electric chair. This thing is really neat. Oh, let's see. Yep, the haunt's not turned on. I can't show you guys that, but it pops and makes a bunch of loud noises. It is cool. And for all you horror fans out there, this is our Freddy boiler room, which we are now going to be getting rid of. We are retiring Freddy from the haunted house. That won't happen anymore. Whatever you do, don't fall asleep. Some nice props here. You can see most of it's rusted, you know, falling apart. Just breaks apart. So it's hard to keep these props going for the year. This is my burnt Freddy. And I would love to add this into my actual personal collection somehow. Have to try to figure something out, but you can see his sweater and his hat, and he's burnt up. So that's the Dead Freddy. Really cool room. We did this next room as our Jason cabin. So you can see we had Jason in this room. And it looked really well. And I did the whole shrine. Again, I was working with what I had at the time. So we found this old sweater. Kind of did the mom shrine. Now, low lighting. Think about it. Low lighting. That looks great. You'd walk in this room and there would just be a strobe flashing on this guy. So that's all you'd see is him lighting up every so often. And this is our library, which we will probably be keeping for another year or so. We haven't decided yet, but yeah, this room looks good. It's got UV lighting in here, so everything reflects with the black light. Another prop I'm about to show you is our locker room. Another prop I'm about to show you, I'm probably going to end up taking home. This is my Reagan, and we did an exorcist room. So, of course, you come in, you have the bed, throw up on the walls, upside down crosses. Try to make it look as homely as possible. And then I have Reagan. So I'd love to take this home and probably hang it on my ceiling in the horror room. We're going to check that out. Alright guys, so next we come into the shower rooms, which is about to change. As soon as you hit this sensor before, this thing would spray toilet water at you. So it's just a pneumatic sprayer, fills into a bucket here. That bucket's full of water. The nozzle is down here, aimed at you. So as soon as you walk through, you just start getting hit with water. It's pretty neat. And then I have our bodies hanging. Our big guy right here, who is in desperate need of some fixing, would start rocking back and forth. So you'd hear this noise, and he would just be coming at you, and he'd have a strobe light right on him, flashing, so it's pretty freaky. Mirrors, mirrors, mirrors. This is our slaughter room. And I kind of doubled this as a saw room. So I had Jigsaw Killer in here. And the clicking you're hearing, none of the air is turned on right now, but most of these bodies move and shake and scream. So that clicking you'd hear is all these guys moving. So I had to build a Billy the Puppet quick. I didn't buy the one because it's $200, and I didn't want to put a $200 prop in here. As you can see, things get broken, especially when you have people running, hitting everything. We have a huge saw here. This is actually electric, so once it was on the track, it would spin around, and it's on a bungee system, so our actor would chase you with the saw, while this saw is on an electric motor and would also spin next to Billy and our pig. And then I actually handmade these intestines that are pretty cool. These are actually made out of pantyhose and latex, so you have to walk through a little hallway of intestines. Next was our Leatherface room. Let me close this real quick so I can give you the full effect. Our Leatherface room, so I did the kitchen. So this is a pretty neat room. I had a guy dressed as Leatherface, and I've even got a door here. And he would sit behind the door right here, and then this next room is our claustrophobia tunnel. So these two fans get air blown into them. The air blows in, puffs these together, and it makes it claustrophobia because you got to walk through them. So a lot of the times people would get bottlenecked right here is what we call it. And that means they would just stop and they wouldn't really go anywhere. So I had a mom sitting in this chair who was an older lady, made her look scary. And then she'd be like, "Hey boy, come get him, come get him." And he would sit behind here, slam this door open, run out, crank his chainsaw, push people through. So they'd have to run. And you can see these red lines where we're about to start building some more. And we have our Silent Hill room. All of my nurses are falling apart, but they would jump and move. They're on air. So each of them did its own little thing. This lady spun her neck around. This lady jumped up and down. This lady slung side to side. And this one tipped over in crazy ways. And then I had a realistic actor in here too. Continuing on, I just called this the art hallway. Got some pretty cool drop doors. So this is actually a drop door where an actor would come out and scare you. Our voodoo room. So there's some pretty creepy stuff in here. Moving on. And I'm trying to go as quick as possible, guys, because I want to make this video pretty short. We have our padded rooms. No haunted house is complete without one. Our closet area. So we'd have an actor in here in the closet. Jump out at you. Our polka dot room, which this is all UV paint, reacts very well in black light. And so an actor would be sitting in the corner and you would never know that they were there. And they move around the room. This room I did roaches on the whole wall here. Did a lot of strobe lights in here, so just be high amounts of strobe light. These things would look like they're crawling. Had insect noises going on. And our baby room. And this little lady right here jumps up and starts screaming. Why? Mom's sitting in the chair. Why'd you wake my baby up? This guy I actually got from Spirit Halloween. He's infrared sensor, so you walk past him and he moves and talks. One of my favorite things in the whole house is my vortex tunnel. So in the pitch black, we have a steel bridge with a vortex tunnel. And I just turned it on so you can hear a guy going now and you can see all the stuff floating around. We haven't turned anything on in a while. But you have to walk down here while it's all spinning around, which makes things very, very difficult for a lot of people. A lot of fun. So actually when you come out of that vortex tunnel, you end up in this room from that hallway. And this was kind of a poorly thrown together clown room area that we didn't have much time for this, guys. So we had to throw it in as quick as possible. We did what we could, made it work. This guy jumps up and down. We did a horn. You know, just did what we could. And then I built this room personally by hand. And I thought it came out really nice. So you walk into this, the hands are kind of sticking out of the walls. You have exposed board, bodies, baby dolls. This was a lot of strobe lights in this room. You have a lot of things touching your head, spider web and rope. So once the strobe lights are on, these hands look like they're actually coming out at you. I'd usually have an actor sitting at the end of this hallway that would run and chase you down. And then the door is kind of trap door. It's almost hidden. Just push the door, and here's my animatronic dog. This guy jumps up and down, moves around, growls at you. He's got a big pile of bones, and he's been getting around on the walls. Bloody, nasty, dirty walls. This is another area I built. So this is kind of a, we actually referred to this as the dead end. I just took a bunch of great stuff and plumber's foam, sprayed it on the walls. It looks really good in the dark. And it's a dead end, you get it? You come in here and there's just a skull there and you're like, crap, gotta turn around and go back. And then you would finally end up in our chainsaw area. So this was a lot of strobe light, a lot of loud music. There's the speaker there. Just heavy metal blaring, running out. And I usually operated the chainsaws. You'd have a chainsaw guy typically standing right here and he would look like a mannequin. So the people in or don't really notice him. And then another one over here. So he would start attacking them, and then you attack from this way. They'd run out. I'd usually run my saw along this wall, which would usually cause the chainsaw to throw sparks and scare people even worse. So then we go to our exit door, and this would be it. This door would be open. The customers are sitting out there. I'm going to show you guys some of the prop storage before we end the video. You can see we have lots of wood. You need a lot of wood. A few really big animatronics that we haven't set up. A couple coffins, about these coffins you can't get enough of. A lot of fabric storage, mannequins, clowns, wheelchairs, shopping carts. Pretty much anything in here I can turn into a prop. So there's always a good use for junk furniture. You know, we made it a hidden door. Somebody can get in here. Close the door behind them, jump out of it. More coffins, more jumpers, just whatever. Beds, those are always useful. And then we come back out to the main part of the haunted house. So, let me end this and I'll turn around and talk to you for 1 second. Alright guys, so I know that video ran a little longer than I wanted it to, but I just really wanted everybody to be able to check out my haunted house and kind of take a break away from some of the you know, toys and horror room stuff that I'm doing, show you some outside stuff of what I do, and you know, get ready for the next build. I can't wait to make another video and hopefully show you guys soon what we're getting ready to do, and you can check this back on this video and see the changes that we made, because I would definitely do another tour next season. So we're getting ready now. We have plenty of time, so we're hoping that it's going to be more successful, bigger. I'm trying to cut down on the amount of rooms right now because there are like 38 rooms. So I'm trying to cut down on the amount of rooms and open it up for bigger spaces with more detailed scenes. I want to definitely try to compete with some of the bigger haunts around the area and set this thing up to just be really, really nice when you see it. You know, none of the OSB walls and the exposed, you know, whatever. I want to make it look like real scenes and real sets. So that's what we're working on, guys. I do appreciate you guys sticking around and watching the whole video. If you like the video, please like and subscribe to my channel, and I will be posting more videos here soon. Thank you very much for watching. We will see you later.